Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
Like 20! No chance! Hey, switch gears. Kill! There you go, get down. 52 and 56. Where's 52? Watch 52. 52.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
So we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up. Wait. Out. Hey, look, 3. Left. Big.
Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Fitzpatrick. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick six for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really started to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Back to it after the pick six, Fitzpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On second down, Collins.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Mike, 53, Mike.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 18.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Check that.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. He's got a first down past the 30, and he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. So first and 10 now from the 30. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Line 55. Line 55. Lefty. Shit. Get it. Line 55.
They will run with Grant. It's a 6-yard run. Leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. On third down, Grant. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. First and 10 at the 45. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. So they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. So they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Corey Grant with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that.
He's got a man, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
52 and 56.
Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. His throw incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And that'll bring up second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
It's going to be a long day. Check. Crunch. 6-6. Pull it high. Check 37.
Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Now it's a bootleg with Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Fletcher Cox was sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Collins. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Here's Grant. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Corey Grant. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Regular. Check. Watch 54.
From the 30 on second down, Fitzpatrick. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line.
And the Dolphins
They'll run here with Balazs. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Here we go. Whip. Watch the whip.
Throwing on second and 14. Fitzpatrick. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Nick Vigil. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Let's get off the field, D. You got motion man. You got motion man right there. Man 5-7.
This is Grant. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Grant. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Now a give, right side. Grant. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Get ready. Get ready.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Parker, the intended target. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wentz escaping the pressure right. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Hey, Charlie. 52's the mic, boys. 52. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. This one, 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic. Hey, let's get that ball again. Let's get that ball right here. No. Check that. We want Mike 52 right here. 52. We ain't giving up nothing.
Wentz now on 1st down. Flushed out right. It's caught by Jackson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
At the 16-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch twist. Motion out of backfield. Motion out.
Now a give right side. Grant. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Here we go. Shoot up. Shoot up.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Elliott is good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Wentz to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Throwing now is Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll try the left side. It's Grant, and he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Let's go.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returnable for Grant. Oh, he will not go down.
Have to retape those ankles.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
52, Mike 52. They're going to need some things. Hey, Echo. Check 52's the mic. Check 52.
To throw his Wentz. Looking deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Mike 53. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Feel it. Switch. Jam.
To throw again. Fitzpatrick gonna look deep for Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Kill. Turn up. Kill, turn up. Check nickel.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here comes Grant on the return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Nelson, his 11th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken at his 4. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 to make it the 40-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Check. Regular. Shoot.
Delayed give to Collins. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nate Gary. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one 28 yards on the ground. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, defense, let's go. Where's 5-7? 552. Hey, orbit.
On first down, Wentz. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a give, right side. Grant, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go. 180! No gain on this defense, no gain.
Now Wentz. Hauling it in, Nelson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Corey Grant there to make the grab. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They'll run the counter with Collins. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Catches like that, that's what the Dolphins envisioned when they took Gesicki high in the 2nd round a season ago. He did have 22 catches as a rookie, but did not find the end zone. Certainly feels more comfortable wearing number 88, his old college number, after sporting 86 as a rookie.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on 3rd down. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 44. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Jim, go Jim. Mike, 53.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
There you go. Get down, get down, get down. Give me that ball, defense.
Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
82, 40.
Wentz now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
The Eagles on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Wentz. Caught by Nelson. He's got the first down here inside the 30. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
They run with Collins, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This is fielded at the 27. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They go back to Grant. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, jumping over. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Wentz to throw. Caught by the tight end, Ertz.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
On 1st down, it's Grant. And he'll take this one down near the 15. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team.